Hey guys, welcome back. Drip and Farm for Poverty. I'm your host, Drip Coach, and let's jump right into it. So today, kind of reevaluating what I thought. So, eating that humble pie, I did not really fully understand. I still don't really understand the ecosystem, but I want to show you guys my journey and what I've learned from the community and what Hustleman Matt and Eric have built with this, and how they are engineering a more long-term sustainable strategy. So they've always said with all their projects, stuff like that, and they still continue to do so, but like build and have longevity. So they're trying to build projects for the community, especially for Drip, and just for their personal brand, so to speak, that stand the test of time. So if you've been around from the previous cycle or dabbled a bit in DeFi/crypto, you know that it's pretty much, outside of blue chips, just a quick pump and dump. And that was my experience from the last cycle, and it got wrecked and all that. And so I've kind of left a sour taste in my mouth. So I was assuming that this would be no different, even though I knew that they were building more sustainable mechanics. I didn't quite understand what it was behind this protocol. And now digging some more behind the scenes, reading some posts from the community, seeing some of the documentation and stuff like that, now I kind of have a different strategy. So I'm just giving you guys my insight as to what I'm learning along the way, and then you can decide how you want to play it and whatnot. So first and foremost, I was looking at the amount of liquid tokens that people had purchased and was worried about a dump. And that ties into, and I'll explain to you, these dashboard divs that everybody is so excited about. So seeing these numbers, now there's a lot to unpack here. So on the one side, these dividends, these numbers, is what gets people excited. It's what keeps this chart going up. And it's what brings new people in, because people buy hype, specifically in DeFi and even in TradFi. And that's where FOMO starts happening, things of that nature. So they have engineered that, and we're going to talk more about it. But for one, these dashboard divs continue to grow because the way that they have built this is that there isn't much liquidity to dump into. So people just holding the token can't actually dump huge bags and sell off because the liquidity pools are shallow. That is by design. Now I've seen that in the chats. People are like kind of shitting on everyone talking about the dashboard divs and going, well, where's the liquidity? Where's liquidity? That's by design. So that's, again, a feature, not a bug. So what they've done with this is left a low liquidity pool in the Dripx token for now. So what you see here on Dex tools, and this isn't completely right, but it's just the easiest to just see what they say. They've got 423,000 liquidity here in the Dripx and wrapped drip pool. Then over on the wrap BNB in Dripx, they've got 40K. And those are the two largest pools. There's also a Dripx and USDT. That one on V2, is that actually right? 532,000. I'm not sure if that's right. Let me check that real quick. No, that is not right at all. I've shown you this before on Dex tools. They can't be trusted. So this was a pair that someone created, and yeah, it's just a delinquent value. So let's not even worry about that. So anyway, the biggest liquidity pool is basically Drip and wrapped Drip and Dripx. Man, getting confusing trying to say that. So that basically means the value and what you can sell into. You're not gonna be able to sell out into BNB, so you're gonna have to sell out into wrapped Drip. And then we know that wrapped Drip's liquidity is tied to BNB as well as exchanging it into Drip, which has the BNB pool and the BUSD pool. So the point I'm getting at is that it is a very shallow pool, and that's by design. And the bulk of it is actually sitting over in these two contracts on the buy and burn. So in the V1 contract, we have 1.8 million, and in the V2, we have another 1.2 million. So there's $3 million that is untouchable to people who are trying to pump and dump or jeet the community. So they can only sell. So I showed you that one wallet, I'm not gonna go into it now, that had, you know, a lot of Dripx tokens that they purchased. Well, they will not be able to sell a lot of those. They will only be able to sell bits and pieces, and that's going to be based off of the total liquidity that's actually there and any of these buy and burns that are getting created. So the way this actually works, I talked to Hustleman Matt in some chats, the way that he set this up is that V1 is currently owned by the team, and he said it is reserved for emergencies, and they plan to take this and rehypothecate it. So as of right now, it's for emergency injections and then for rehypothecation. The V2 is what the community can call. So instead of having a contract automatically do a burn every 10 minutes, it's eligible every 10 minutes, but instead of a contract doing it and burning through the BNB that would be in the contract, you have to call this yourself. And when you do, then you receive I think it's like 0.01 or whatever, a percentage of the available. So I actually called this twice myself. You can see it here in my transaction log. I did it 2 different times just to see how it worked. And all it really does is, if it's available, then I pay the gas and then I initiate the buy and burn of that 0.1. Now, right now, it's just 0.1 BNB. At the end of the first 8 days, they will reassess this, and this amount could go higher than 0.1, and then there could be a higher amount for you if you are the one to initiate the claim. Now, in order for you to make sure that you do it correctly and don't get front run by a bot, they want you to use the Pancake Swap RPC. That's a real simple procedure. You just add it to your MetaMask or Rabby and use that RPC, and it prevents sandwich attacks. I'm not going to go into that right now, but they've thought about that in this implementation. So this can just be a way for you to collect rewards by being the one to spin the gas. And right now, it costs more than what you're going to make, so it's not beneficial, so to speak. But this will continue to grow because people are continuing to make miners. Now, here's again where I was wrong. So the play, and shout out to Sray OX, was looking at his post. He bought a bunch of miners and did long-term stakes, and I didn't quite understand because I didn't get into Titan-X. I wasn't sure, like, why would you want to stake? Because, you know, you can stake for like 3,500 days or something ridiculous. What is it? 3,500 days. Yeah. So just like, you're not going to get anything from that. Like, it may not even last. Like, BNB chain could explode or something. I was like, I don't want to lock up my tokens. But the reason you do that is because your payouts are going to be bigger. And remember, the payouts are set for everyone in the community on these cycles. Therefore, you're not selling the token, you're collecting the BNB dividends that are being distributed based off of basically this 67% tax that they're collecting. So remember, when someone mines, they're putting up that, like I put up 1 BNB. Of that 1 BNB, 0.67 of it went over into this pool over here. And from this, a portion of it is going towards these scheduled payouts. That's what keeps this going. And then a portion of that also is being burned. So there's a very small amount of tokens that can be dumped on the market due to the fact that the liquidity pool is being locked here. The largest portion of the contract, 67% of all of the dividends, all of the money in Dripx is coming into these 2 contracts. And then at some stage, like this one again, will be rehypothecating, and that's more money, or they will combine them, is what he said. So they have to see how this evaluates, see how it goes. But that is quite the robust kind of system that they built so that the longevity is there. So what I'm getting at, and what I didn't understand, is I can't say what you want to do. There's so many different plays in here, but one of the ways that you can make this last is by creating different miners that mature at different dates. When those mature, throw them in to a max stake. because really, if you're doing the short stake, all you're doing is waiting to collect your payouts. So every 8 days, 28 days, 90 days, and 369 days. So if you do a 28-day stake, which is the shortest, you will get day 8, 16, 24, and then your final one will be 28. So you get 4 payouts and the dividends that come from that. And so you can see right now for mine, it's not that much. Then all of your Dripx tokens will be available. Well, what do you do then? Well, then you can either try to dump them into that shallow liquidity pool I showed you about, or you go back and restake them. So the better thing to do, and the way that they set the system up, is to stake longer, then collect these dividends over time. Let me show you something. So shout out to whoever made this in the community. So this is basically a chart showing you your paydays. So if you continued to put your miners back in for long duration stakes, this 8 represents the every 8-day payout. So you'll be getting paid basically weekly, whatever the dividends are based on the dollar value equivalent of the miners and the percentage that you have and things of that nature. And then you would also get, if you did it for the long duration, you would get paid on the 28th, and then 8 and 28 is the yellow, and 90. So if you do like the 3,500, you're going to be collecting all of these stakes all the way till like year 9, you know, because 365 days times 10 is 3,650. So it's like 9 years and some change. So what you would be doing is sacrificing your Dripx tokens to be getting paid out in dividends instead, BNB. So you're getting paid out in BNB. Now, how long will it take the ROI and all that stuff? I have no idea. We'll have to wait to see who in the community creates some Dune analytics stuff. But this just gave me a different way to look at this. So I'm gonna first see how my initial $1,000 went. So I showed you guys that I didn't go too crazy with the miners. I did some small stakes, and everything basically is under a month, because I was just looking at the history that I've seen from some other projects and how things didn't last that long, yada yada yada. I wasn't in Titanx. I didn't understand the tokenomics really, and I didn't really see what was going to happen long term, and I wanted to make sure this time that I got my ROI out. So I was looking at the shortest time horizon. Now, what I plan on doing with these when they mature is actually staking them, and I'm still going to try to see about selling some of them just so I can show you guys the potential and what the liquidity looks like, and you know what you can get off of that. But the main play is not to just pump and dump or 2x and G on this ecosystem due to the way that they built these mechanics. And remember, they're building on top of this. So Wrap Drip is the new foundational layer, and there are other utilities from other devs with Wrap Drip. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that this is 100% SAFU. You got to do your own research, as we always say. And as I mentioned, there is the Black Swan events. Wrap Drip is a vulnerability within the ecosystem. The fact that Hustleman Matt and Eric own the keys to the contracts, and it is upgradable. And they can decide what to do with this buy and burn, all this stuff, right? So that is something, like I said, don't trust but verify. So you got to still be cautious, do your own research, understand how this works. But I do like how they have played this, and I like the fact that this is at the beginning of this bull run. So we missed, many of us, if you're on my channel and you got into Drip following me, then we missed the Drip run up. I'm not saying this will be the same as Drip. I'm not saying you're gonna, you know, make amazing gains. I have no idea it's gonna play out. All I know is that from the history of what I've seen and what I've seen from the team and how crypto and DeFi have been and what this cycle is shaping up to be, this just looks like a good opportunity. However, I didn't go in nearly as hard as I went in on Drip. I'm like, I forgot what it is. The number is 30K, 28 when you count the animal farm, that close to 40K in the animal farm and Drip ecosystem, and in this is just 1K. So I've learned my lessons to not go crazy. And like that quote I put with Warren Buffett, rule number 1, don't lose money. Rule number 2, see rule number 1. And we always say don't risk more than you can afford to lose. So remember, this is all gambling. Don't try to just get rich quick or get rich overnight. You might get lucky, but more than likely you will get wrecked. So lessons learned, and I'm just going at this cautious. If I make a couple $100 off of a $1,000 investment, cool. To make a couple bucks off a $1,000 investment, cool. If that 1,000 turns into 50,000, even better. But lessons learned. So anyway, just wanted to show you guys that and how this actually works. There's one other image, this one. So this is exactly what I was mentioning. So you purchase a miner. When that miner matures, you claim your Dripx tokens. Now, what I'm going to do here is stake some and hodl some. So again, lessons learned from previous cycles. And once you stake it, you're collecting the payouts. And then they're saying here instead, take a percentage of the payouts and then recycle the other percent into the drip miner. So I would have a little arrow coming off of here that would say take a percentage of Dripx, hodl, stake that other part, take the BNB, claim profits, and do this. So that way you're kind of minimizing risk within the ecosystem and exposure. And even from here, after you come from Dripx, sell whatever that small portion is, hodl some, sell some of what you sell into wrap drip, hold some wrap drip, and from wrap drip also sell into BNB and BUSD. So there would actually be some couple of arrows here that I might have to do to show you guys, because that way you're kind of taking profits, trickling them out and minimizing your risk, and then sitting in some BUSD coming from drip, things of that nature. So just some ideas that I'm thinking out in real time for my new strategy going forward. But again, I like what they've done, made me rethink my strategy. So again, shout out to SPRITZ for creating his insanely large set of miners that he did. Forgot where his video was that he had of these, but he showed some Dragon Ball, I think it's this one, and his setup for all these miners. So he's got a lot of miners that he created. I think like 13K or something he went in with. Yeah, 13,452. So he made the statement up here: the only way to stake in Dripx for max BNB rewards is the max stake 2888 3500. Get your ROI, only use risk capital, compound miners, and create an infinite money loop. Not financial advice, could nuke to zero. Max stake it till you make it. With every green candle, your stake value grows and your BNB payouts. Watch the charts. So definitely playing this a little different and listening to others in the community, seeing what they're saying and what they're doing, especially those that got into Titan X. And like I said, it's still brand new, and this is what drives the excitement. So people just want to see the chart go up and up and up. People just want to see dashboard divs making them dashboard millionaires. You may not be able to claim it out, but it doesn't matter, because that's what degens are looking for. They're looking for these numbers here, because it makes you feel good that everything is up and to the right. And I can't lie, it cost me $3 and I have a $1,200 market value. That is insane. So I would love for that to be real money. We know it's not going to be, but the longevity that they built into this protocol and eliminating a lot of the pump and dump. And one other thing I wanted to mention that I forgot is, let's go back to this real quick. On day 8, we're still sitting at a maximum so far of 70. Actually, yeah, that's already done, because if you come in day 8 now, it will be on day 11 on the chart. So that first 8-day stake, I think is like 60 billion or something like that. So of that 60 billion, we will see how much of that gets put into stakes, and then how much of that goes into liquid wallets. Let me just, for transparency's sake and documentation, show what is sitting in wallets now, just so we have that right here. So the total supply right now, 603 million. Is that correct? That's the total. And 118 of that is in the first contract. We'll count that as the main one. So we'll call it 131. So let's just say 500 million is in wallets. Let's see what happens. Is that million or billion? Yeah, it's million. And 60 billion is coming out. So let's see what happens. So I'm just documenting this just to see. That'll tell you what people are doing. If the community is playing this as designed in this logo or infographic here, or will we see a large amount come into wallets? That will be a good indicator for us to understand how the community is playing this, what the education is across the board for all of this, and give you some insight as well as to what to do. So I'll come back and revisit this on day 8. What is the first payout? It is scheduled for the 29th. Awesome, leap year, 29th. So that should be around like 1 p.m. Eastern. So I'll have to visit that in the evening on that day. All right, that's all I got. Smash that HBO special. Help brother out. Like, subscribe, comment down below. And until next time, lift daily and achieve your impossible. See ya.
Want to pay your in real life bills with crypto? How about send crypto directly to anyone with a bank account? SPRITZ Finance is a decentralized solution to be your own bank and connect your crypto earnings to real world bills and payments. They do not take custody of your assets and allow support on multiple blockchains and Web3 wallets. Sign up below using my referral link and you will get $50 back when you make your first $50 bill payment with crypto. Additionally, I will be using referral bonuses to airdrop, donate, or burn based on community feedback. Sign up now.